while I sort that, I'll just throw up the live screen.
How low can you go? Chuck a lot of game, but yet you don't know. Static on the way, make us all say whoa. The people up top, push the people down low. Get down and obey every word. Steady getting mine if you haven't yet heard. Wanna take what I got.
Okay, I've now hosted the game and the records have been updated in terms of that last game, so we're going to move straight into the next game, which is going to be Boxer vs Beast once again, the finale of this set, and it's going to be on Neo Aztec. So let's get going. Once again, we do have Oz's, or Huasing Oz's Beast, spawning down in the bottom right spot of the map. Of course, Neo Aztec is a 3-player map in comparison to the last map, which was 4-player. So there are only 3 spawns. This is a very interesting map layout-wise. It's quite good for both Terran and Zerg, depending on who gets the advantage early on. So this is going to be a close fought game, both players playing for their life in the Bacchus Offgamenet Starleague. So once again, Oz's Beast is down here in the bottom right in the blue, and the Terran over here on the left side of your screen in the 8 o'clock position is going to be SK Telecom T1 Slayer's Boxer, who just lost the previous game after winning the first game of the set. So of course the set is 1-1, anything could happen here. It wouldn't surprise me if Beast decided to do something somewhat aggressive, not opting to go for a 9-pull just yet, not even gonna... he may overpull here actually, but he's not gonna use the gas trick to try and get an extra draw down quicker, so he could be saving up for a 9-pull. Of course 9-pull is very strong on this map due to the fact it is very difficult for Terran to wall in, and while a lot of Terrans don't actually opt to wall in, it's still very useful against early lanes of course, because the ramps are they lead up out of the base, which means it's a lot harder even for SCVs and Marines to block it. So Boxer will add his barracks on very close to the ramp, and it looks like Beast once again is going to go for another hatchery first. So a nice safe, or somewhat safe and somewhat greedy play by Beast, not opting to do anything overly aggressive, is going to try and win this set in the way he thinks he can, which is just with solid play, solid macro. And in comparison to that, Boxer is actually going to go for 2 barracks. So 2 barracks first from Boxer this time. Could even be opting to go for some form of 2 barracks expand, which was at one point a very popular build, especially on maps like this where it is a little bit harder to hold the ramp with just 1 barracks. And the sad thing for him is Beast actually did drone scout, so this drone will see this straight away. And Boxer is indeed scouting in the wrong direction. He will just about see this Overlord, I think, so he will know... well, he should know that Beast is not in the top position, but it is very possible that the Overlord did just about get over the hill there, so he will just about miss it. And of course, any lost time in terms of scouting your opponent, especially Zerg, is very dangerous because he doesn't know if he's going hatchery first or not. And the spawning pool is now coming up, so thankfully for him, we won't have to deal with any form of early lane aggression. And it looks like he is going to go for a 2 racks expand, which is a relatively old school build, but Boxer of course is an old school player. And back when Boxer was really popular, the time you ever saw someone expand was, well, it was very rare. If you saw someone expand back then, it was probably either a mistake or some hour-long game where they mined out their mains with like 6 workers or something, after Boxer was done dropping them constantly with like 3 dropships. So of course Boxer does now scout what Beast is doing. The Sunken is coming up. There are a lot of Marines coming across the map now. Oh, he's actually going to pull a train of SCVs. Yeah, it looks like he was faking an expand by hiding an SCV up here. Oh, but this train of SCVs and the Marines against a single sunken colony. He's not really going to be able to defend. The Zerglings have been brought back to the back of the base by Boxer's scouting SCV, and the scouting SCV still being very, very annoying. It's going to be the last second when Beast actually finds this out, and this could end the game here and there. Here and now, sorry, because these SCVs are going to tank the sunken colony, and the Marines are going to move down, and the SCVs are actually going to make a nice little wall. But Boxer isn't moving his Marines in with the SCVs, so the SCVs aren't being killed. The SCVs have done a really, really good job of killing the Sunken on their own though, which is very surprising. The Sunken goes down, the Zerglings have gone down, and now focusing on Overlord as well is going to make it even harder for Beast. It may even supply block him, just not, so he will be able to add Sunkens in his main, and he's got this third hatchery now, which is going to be very good. But Boxer could do a lot of damage here. He's actually going to pull back up the ramp. He's just going to block the ramp with the SCVs now and focus on this hatchery. Back home, he's not decided to add on any expansion or even any tech. Boxer is taking this with making this a relatively all-in attack. More Zerglings have moved up and died from Beast. So Beast is in equally a bad position. Not being able to drone down, he does have 2 hatcheries. But with 2 hatcheries and barely any drones mining, he's going to have a lot of trouble. The 3rd hatchery does go down. Using these 3 SCVs in a really, really clever way to block the ramp now 4. He's going to kill the lava here, and just keep bringing more and more SCVs over. Beast is actually moving a drone up here, could even possibly hide another expansion, but Beast really needs to do something to try and break this contain, because the minute this creep recedes, it does allow Boxer to build a wall at the top of the ramp, which would make his life a complete living hell. This is one of the interesting features about this map, of course, with the mains being lower than the naturals, but it's very rare. I've actually seen someone actually like wall a Zerg in their own base. I've seen it happen to Terran with Protoss before. It's even happened to me on ladder, which is very, very infuriating, but it looks like Beast is going to try and hide the space up here. Boxer still on 2 barracks, actually opting not to add any more Marines. He's going to add on his academy, his supply depot. He's now got his gas mining, so he's going to move into most likely stim and range and just go bio from here. And the SCV that was left over there, including this one, will be sent home. And Beast looks like he's going to try and build more Sunkens to try and push out of his base with Sunken colonies. And while it will allow him to take his natural back, the amount of resources spent on these Sunken colonies is just going to put Boxer more and more ahead. Of course, he also needs to get vision somehow, and that's going to be increasingly hard, especially with this bunker going up. This bunker should actually be in range of the Sunken colony, so that's really nice placement of the bunker, and a really, really nice way of dealing with things by Boxer here. And of course, the Marines in the range don't quite have range, so the Sunken was trying to kill the SCV, which unluckily for him, the high ground advantage actually saves the SCV there, which is really, really lucky on Boxer's part, or Boxer's account even. And the bunker is just going to slowly take damage, but 1 SCV should be able to out-heal the damage from a Sunken colony, and Beast will need to send up his Zerglings when he's ready. He's adding more and more Zerglings, now going into lair. Boxer, of course, now adding on medics and even more Marines. He does have Stim just finished researching, and his engineering bay is up. The only thing Boxer needs to be worried about is this 3rd hatchery up here. If he doesn't scout this, of course he could think that Beast is further behind than he is. Beast is of course really far behind, but the minute Beast starts mining off at this extra base, Boxer could find himself overwhelmed by, once again, it looks like it's going to be lurkers. So he needs to be ready for this, but I think this Marine medic fireback force moving across the map is actually going to make it impossible for Beast to get out of his own base, even with lurkers. Boxer does have his comp set up. He has scanned once, and it looks like he's going to send out an SCV to scout, so a very, very, very nice move by Boxer there is actually going to possibly win him this game just based on scouting, which is very, very nice. So well played move by Boxer, going to move up He may even try and sneak a base up there himself, but I think that's highly unlikely. He's going to add on his factory at home, most likely start adding tanks. He's continuing to make a one base play here. He will have seen the creep there, so he's actually going to move his Medic Marines north. And its range is now done, but these Medic Marines need to go back because these Zerglings will actually break the bunker. And the Firebat doing a huge amount of damage. He will actually save the bunker, it looks like. Oh my god, what a really nice move. And an incredibly lucky save by Boxer. The Firebat doing an incredible amount of damage from the bunker. And the two SCVs managing to hold a bunker against about 25 Zerglings is incredibly impressive. And this base that is now just finished droning, he's going to add on Hydralisks up there, most likely. He is getting the Lurker upgrade. And he's adding Sunken Colonies again in his main. But Beast knowing that Boxer's Marines and Medics are moving up for his north base, does GG out of the game, and Boxer will move on to the round of 4, 2-1 up again in this set against Beast. A very well played game by him. Beast was caught completely off guard by Boxer's aggression that game, and that momentary lapse of concentration and lack of proper defense against what was coming to him will eliminate Beast from the Bacchus Offgamenet Starleague in the round of 8. Okay, I'm just going to throw up some adverts that I have recorded, as you've seen previously, and I am going